Mr. District Attorney. Champion of the people, defender of truth, guardian of our fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And it shall be my duty as district attorney not only to prosecute to the limit of the law all persons accused of crimes perpetrated within this county, but to defend with equal vigor the right and privileges of all its citizens.
Now, Mr. Turner, I'd like to review a certain phase of the police investigation of the murder of your wife.
Yes, sir.
Well, when the police arrived after you had called them, you said in front of the two officers, "I killed her. She had it coming."
I'm sorry, sir, but I didn't say that.
I see. Well, will you tell the court what you did say?
Yes, sir. Actually, I may not remember the exact words. I was quite upset. But I believe I said, "I killed her. I should have been here. I shouldn't have left her alone." That was it generally.
In other words, you now claim you blame yourself for your wife's murder because you went out that evening.
Yes, sir. I blame myself then. I still blame myself.
Mr. Turner, will you look at this, please?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Is this a full and complete confession of the murder of your wife, which you signed in the presence of witnesses?
Yes, sir.
In view of this confession, do you deny you made it and signed it?
No, sir. I signed that confession.
Then you did shoot and kill your wife?
No, sir. I did not kill my wife.
Then why did you sign it?
To make the blood play alone so I could get some sleep. I was tired, heartbroken about Sally. They kept asking me questions all night long. And Sally was lying in... I'd have signed anything just to be let alone.
You say that the police questioned you all night long. This confession was signed at 10 p.m.
I meant to say all afternoon long.
Are you claiming the police used coercion?
Did I say that?
Mr. Turner, you are here in this court because the state charges you with the murder of your wife. The prosecution has produced a confession which you freely admit you signed. Now, are you accusing the police of using brutality or undue pressure to get that confession?
No, sir, I'm not. They did their jobs. I was just terribly upset, confused and nervous. In my state, I might have signed anything.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. No further questions.
No questions.
Miss Daly, will you tell the court if Paul Turner ever owned a gun?
Yes, he did. I saw it on several occasions.
Well, what type of gun was it?
A revolver.
Would you be able to tell us the caliber?
Well, I'm not sure.
Miss Daly, would you pick the gun you feel is most like Paul Turner's gun?
This one is very much like Paul's gun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Daly picked a .38. Mrs. Turner was shot and killed with a .38 according to the ballistics report. Now, Miss Daly, did you ever hear Mr. Turner threaten to kill his wife?
Yes, at a party. He was very angry, and he said he'd kill her someday.
Why was he angry?
Because they'd been arguing about a man Sally knew. He was furious, very jealous. He thought she'd gone out with other men.
Miss Daly, to your knowledge, had Mrs. Turner gone out with other men?
She was my sister, Mr. Garrett. I know she never even looked at another man.
Well, thank you, Miss Daly. Your witness, Mr. Blaney.
Miss Staley, you say Mr. Turner owned a revolver. That is, you say you saw a gun in the Turner home.
Yes, sir. I saw his gun all right.
Do you know for a fact that the gun you claimed you saw belonged to Mr. Turner?
Well, no, but I assumed that it did.
Miss Staley, a man's life is at stake. I don't feel we should attempt to convict him on assumptions. Then you cannot swear that the gun that you saw belonged to Mr. Turner.
No, sir.
Might have belonged to a friend, anyone at all.
But he said it was his.
Now, as to the identification of the gun you saw, Miss Staley. Would you look at this, please? I believe you said earlier that you were seated at a distance from Mr. Turner when he handled the gun you saw. You never handled it yourself.
Oh, no, I never touched it.
Did you ever see it any closer than this?
No, I don't think so.
Is this similar to the gun you claim Mr. Turner had in his hand?
Yes, it looks just like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I submit that Miss Staley is in no position to accuse Mr. Turner of owning a gun. This is no gun, but a water pistol. I don't know what Miss Staley saw, but I submit Mr. Turner does not own a gun, never has owned a gun, and the prosecution has not found the murder weapon. Thank you, Miss Staley.
An old tired trick. Amazing how a jury falls for it. Even though all the evidence pointed to Turner as a killer.
Like the judge said, if there's any reasonable doubt of guilt, you must find the defendant innocent.
Well, you know, we've lost cases before, and we've been wrong before.
You can't win them all, Paul.
Yes, but this time I'm not satisfied. Little things that Paul Turner did and said, they didn't quite fit in with that smooth, polite yes sir, no sir way of his.
That's why I had Dr. Lindsay there. I thought maybe he might see something or think of something that would help.
I must say that psychiatry isn't the answer to everything, Paul. However, I do agree with you. Turner's not quite right. Not quite normal.
Yes? Paul Turner? Yes, send him in. Speaking of the devil, I wonder what he wants. I'm glad you're here, Dr. Lindsay. Come in. Yes, Mr. Turner?
I imagine you're quite surprised to see me.
Yes, I am. You know Captain Trent, of course. This is Dr. Lindsay. Dr. Lindsay, Mr. Turner.
I remember him from court.
Sit down, please.
Thank you. I'm a free man, Mr. Garrett. Not only free, but happy. I won. I beat all of you.
That's right. But we'd still like to find the man who did kill your wife.
Isn't that the job of the police department?
It's our job, all right, but we often need help. It would help a lot if we knew why she was killed.
Who knows? Maybe someone was trying to get even with me. They were jealous of me. Yeah, sure, that's it. Jealous. Somebody hated me.
Mr. Turner, you do want to help us find the murderer of your wife.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like me to help. Well, let me tell you something. I'm remembering the people who tried to kill me. All of them. And I'll get even. My own friends, witnesses, saying I killed Sally. Even Sally's sister. She hates me.
I wouldn't make threats, Turner.
You're quite a cop, Trent. Yes, sir, I'm scared to death of you. Where's the murder weapon, Trent? Where's the gun you said I killed Sally with?
Right where the murderer put it after he killed her.
You're a diehard, Trent, but you can't do anything to me. I've been tried for Sally's murder. You can't ever try me for that again.
That's right. We can never try you again for the murder of your wife.
The jury decided I was just a nice guy with a lot of trouble, that's all. But you, Mr. Garrett, and you, Trent, you wanted to see me die for something I didn't do.
We weren't trying to persecute you, Mr. Turner. All the evidence pointed to you as the killer.
Yeah, but you couldn't prove anything because I was innocent. Well, I'm not forgetting the ones who tried to kill me. You, Trent, Ralph Miller, Jim Brown, and Mildred Daly. I'll be thinking about all of you.
The case of the people versus Paul Turner. It's closed, but it's not over. He's sick, and he's dangerous. But I don't think we should close the case on Turner.
Anything you say, Paul, but how do we begin? What do we work for?
Well, I think I can help on that. The man's a paranoiac. I suspected it before, but I'm positive now. His outbursts in here are typical. It's a progressive mental disease. A man's mind creates the poison that drugs his reason. He imagines he's persecuted, betrayed. He thinks people are following him, planning to do him some injury.
But still sane enough to pass a sanity hearing.
I'd say so, yes.
Well, what's the normal progress of this type of insanity?
Well, it's hard to tell. He could reach the stage where he could be committed under the law at any time.
You feel he would attempt another murder?
Well, that, of course, is conjecture. But he will get worse and worse.
His target will be someone he hates. One of the witnesses, me.
Well, he didn't exactly find me his type either. Trent, I think Turner should be put under police surveillance. I want to know everything he does, night and day. And don't miss a bet. And Dr. Lindsay.
Yes, Paul.
Go over the trial testimony and Turner's background. If this man is going to kill again, it'll help us to know all the likely and possible victims.
All right. We should certainly be able to narrow the field down.
We'll give you a complete history of the man, a list of everyone he knows and his relationship with them.
Good.
Murder. Man's most horrible crime. And Turner. A sick man who follows no normal pattern. Are we going to be able to predict the actions of such a man? I got here as fast as I could. What's up?
Turner. He was in here half an hour ago. Bought this gun and a box of ammo. He asked Mr. Snyder to send it out to his house.
I guess he didn't want to be picked up with a gun in his possession.
Paul, we just can't let him have this gun.
You're right, Trent. Say, I've got an idea. Can't we remove the firing pin and then send it to Turner?
That's a simple thing to do. It's a good idea, especially since it's an automatic. He won't know it's missing until or unless he tries to use it. Mr. Snyder, this is Paul Garrett, our district attorney.
Oh, hello, Mr. Garrett. My hands are a little oily for a handshake.
How do you do? Mr. Snyder, Captain Trent and I would like the firing pin removed from this gun before you send it to Turner's home. Can you do this for us?
Be glad to. Anything to help the police.
I think maybe we ought to have a bullet from that gun, just in case.
Yeah, you're right.
You go right ahead, Captain. Fire into this. I'll see if the gun is cleaned thoroughly before it's sent out.
Well, thank you, Mr. Schneider. We appreciate your help.
Well, don't mention it. If a man is dangerous, he's not the kind I want back for a customer.
Hi, Paul. The secretary said you were out on a hot lead. What's going on?
Well, Turner's bought a gun and got a sample.
Aha! That's fine. Well, Trent here has given me everything I need.
Good.
I think I'm ready to stick my neck out on Turner's target. Now, first, the men Trent's had on Turner have reported his particular attention to two of the witnesses. He's driven out to their homes, checked their hours at work, and so on.
Which two, Doctor?
Ralph Miller and Mildred Daly. I think he'll take some action against one or the other. The greatest source of irritation is coming from these two. He's focusing his attention more and more on them.
Well, everything adds up to his resenting their testimony more than any other.
It's in the pattern of the infidelity feelings he's had about his wife. They were both in a position to protect her and hurt him. Miss Daly's his wife's sister. Ralph Miller was his best friend. Both close to him.
Two of them. Turner has his choice of targets.
We'll put them both under protection.
I would say that buying the gun is a pretty certain confirmation of our diagnosis. Isn't there some charge he can be arrested on right now?
Not one, Doctor. Even the gun is legal unless he starts carrying it.
We did take the firing pin out.
Well, that's good.
He might discover that.
Dr. Lindsay, can't you be more specific? Which will he go after? Miss Daly or Ralph Miller and his wife?
One can only predict the general direction of a diseased mind.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor. Trent, let's go see Miss Daly and the Millers. There she is.
Miss?
Oh, it's you, Mr. Garrett, and Captain Trent.
Just act like we're ordinary customers, Miss Daly. We've taken these precautions because we think Paul Turner may be watching you.
But why me?
We think he might try to harm you.
Miss Daly, from now on you'll be placed under police protection 24 hours a day. You won't see them, but they'll be there.
Because I testified against him.
Yes. We believe Paul Turner killed your sister because she thought she'd hurt him. And now he thinks you have hurt him.
Poor Sally never harmed anybody in her whole life. Then she married Paul. It's always a little strange. It used to bother her. She'd come over and talk to me about it. He'd imagine people were talking about him, doing things behind his back.
Didn't she ever think that perhaps he needed help, medical help?
No, she loved him too much to see anything wrong with him. But I don't. I want him punished.
Miss Daly, we don't know for certain that he killed your sister.
Well, I do.
You can help us the most by doing just what we say. Don't see him or talk to him.
All right. I guess you're right.
Fine. Just try to keep your life simple for the time being. Try not to go anywhere alone, especially at night. Lock your door when you're at home. My men will always be nearby.
Anything. I'll do anything to help.
Oh, thank you. No, I guess we'd better order. How about some barbecue spare ribs?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Make it 2.
Miss Daly will help all she can. Our next step is Mr. Miller.
Turner's on his way to see you. He should be coming up in the elevator now.
What's his problem?
I don't know, but as soon as he entered the building, Mike Craig called me. Mike's on him for the day shift.
Well, if he's on his way up, we'll know why in a minute. He might have found out about the firing pin.
Want me to see if he's carrying the gun? Or another?
I'll stay close to him in case. Come in.
Lousy, crummy cops!
Hello, Mr. Turner. Is something we can do for you?
I'm glad you're both here. I can tell you both at the same time. You've got men following me.
We have?
Yes, you have. And don't try to play it cozy. You've had men following me night and day. How would you like it if I went to the papers? Told them how you didn't like jury verdicts. You wanted us all executed, guilty or not.
Well, that's your privilege, Mr. Turner.
Why are you doing it? Why are you having me followed?
If we are, Mr. Turner, that would be classified as police business.
Well, you listen to me carefully. If I see another cop following me, I go to the papers. I'll give them the whole story. I'll tell them how all these people are getting together to hurt me, to put me in jail, to kill me. And you, Mr. Garrett, you're behind this thing now, working against me, plotting behind my back, sending your men to sneak around, planning how to get me. Well, you be careful, Mr. Garrett. I can be pushed just so far. I can protect myself.
If he knows he's being followed, he'll be cautious.
He didn't see my men. They're too good for that. In his mental condition, he would suspect everyone of following him.
There's only something more we could do.
We could have Miller and Miss Daly out of their homes at night into hotels. Put an officer in their places.
Turner, I've got an idea. We've got to focus his attention on one person. That way he'll be easy to watch. We're going to go see Miss Daly. She was anxious to help us. We'll give her the chance.
Paul, I want that ring of Sally's. It belonged to Mother.
Sorry, Millie. Sally left everything to me.
Listen, Paul, isn't it enough that Sally's dead? Do you have to show how mean and petty you are, too? Do you have to take out your twisted, confused viewpoint on other people?
Millie, you're going to be sorry you talked to me like this. I've been watching you. Haven't you done enough to me? Haven't you caused me enough trouble? You'd better leave me alone, Millie. I've taken just about all I can.
He's furious.
Good. Trent, I think you better get Miss Daly and the Millers into the hotel right away.
Come on, Miss Daly.
Turner is degenerating fast now, nearing the point where he'll strike. But when? And can we be sure who it will be?
Bad news. We've lost Turner.
Yeah, that is bad. Especially since we figured about now when he make his move.
Yeah. Somebody called Miller's house twice tonight. Didn't speak either time. The first time Miller's wife answered. The second time Miller answered.
What else?
We hurried the Miller family to the hotel. Miss Daly, too. Checked with their employers, told them to say they were out sick if anyone called.
Well, this could be it. We don't know for sure which one.
Well, maybe we do, Paul. Miss Daly's boss at the drive-in mentioned a call. A man asked for her. He told the caller she was out sick.
Come on, let's go.
All clear, Paul.
How long ago did Miss Daly go to the hotel?
About an hour ago. She's there, safe and sound by now.
Yeah, we better get that bed fixed up right away.
In here. How did she look, Paul?
Pretty good. You better turn her head away from the window.
Right.
Yeah, that looks all right. Chad, you better have your gun ready. Turner might have found out about that firing pin.
He might even have seen Miss Daly leave the apartment.
Well, we know pretty soon. Getting dark now.
I'll check the hotel, see if everything's all right. Everything's under control at the hotel.
Good.
Paul, there's somebody on the fire escape.
It must be Turner.
All right, Millie, wake up. Wake up, Millie. I want you to know who's going to kill you and why. For spying on me. For lying in court about me. For helping Sally by lying about old me.
Frisk him, Trent. This wasn't Miss Daly, Turner. It's a mannequin.
This time we've got your gun, Turner, and an attempt murder charge. That's why we had you followed. You're sick, Turner.
Yes, I'm sick. That's it. That's why I killed her. That's why I killed Sally. I hid the other gun where they were mixing cement. That was pretty smart, wasn't it, Garrett?
Yes, it was very smart.
Got out of the murder charge, too. And they can't try me for that again. Even if I admit I killed her.
The doctor will help you, Turner.
Lock me up, Garrett. Please lock me up. I'm not always like this. Sometimes I'm all right. When I'm all right, I don't want to kill anybody. But then they all begin to pick on me. They all plan to hurt me. I have to kill them to make them stop. You understand, don't you? Don't you?
Even in the hospital, He'll never get rid of the wife he killed, the wife he loved, and who loved him. But society will be safer, and so will he. Hello, I'm David Bryan. I hope you enjoy Mr. District Attorney as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Next week, we'll be back again with another very exciting story, and we know you'll like it. Join us, won't you?